This is what the enemy can look like. The enemy of the children of the Most High can look like any of these people. So when you get people coming on the comment boards and they got a picture up or whatever else and they kind of look like you, that doesn't mean that these are your people. You have to understand it. That's why the Most High said you have to test the spirit. And nothing could be further from the truth, especially now. Now that you've been awakened, they know that they have been exposed. And the tricks will not work anymore. So let's take a quick look at the definition for vassal. A vassal, a holder of land by feudal tenure, on conditions of homage and allegiance. So when you understand that many of these countries that you see have recently, they got their independence recently, they didn't really get independence. They just got a semblance of independence, but that independence comes with homage and allegiance to the Catholic Church. First and foremost, that's why you go, and no matter where you go, you still see white Jesus everywhere. No matter where you go, you still see these churches everywhere. They're supposed to be independent nations, but they're still speaking Spanish. They're still pushing the Catholic religion. They got white Jesus everywhere. Why is that? Because they got that country for what reason? They're a holder of land by feudal tenure on conditions of homage and allegiance. So they have allegiance to something, and we have allegiance even ish. They have allegiance to the Catholic Church. That's why they follow womb law. They follow the line of the mother, which came with the Spaniards setting up chattel slavery in 1502. That's why they had to switch everything up through the mother, so that then they could keep our people in perpetual bondage. They could never get their freedom, because as long as the mother was a slave, you were a slave. Right? And that's how they got the tares mixed in there, by their men raping our women. And then they got all these tares in here, right? And, we're the wheat, they're the tares. And that's why the Most High is going to wait here at the end. He's going to be, separating the wheat from the tares. But this was how the tares got mixed in with the wheat. And of course, we talked about this a couple of days ago, and not one person even touches this subject. So when we first got into this truth, and they were talking about, certain lands here, like Manasseh, Cubans. Many of these Cubans hate our guts. Many of these Cubans are these, European Cubans that come over here from Spain, and they got that country over there. But supposedly those people are Manasseh, right? You got the Puerto Ricans right there. I mean, yeah, we got some, but you got some of them that they love Cesare Borgia, right? They got that little land over there to follow that right there, right? You got all these different, Colombia, Asher, a lot of these Colombians hate our guts. These Mexicans, same thing. All these different countries, it's like the ones, my wife was even telling me that when she went to Mexico, one of the gentlemen that lives there was saying that, like the so-called black people that were living in Mexico were pretty much relegated to like 3 different areas where they could live in the country. So in Argentina, Naftali, right? In Argentina, you got a lot of Europeans that live there, and want to make it seem like there's always been like a European people that have been there. You see, like these certain lands, they were given to these certain people, so long as they give homage, to the Catholic Church. And that's going on worldwide, Philippines as well. Even over there in China, you got a lot of these different people, they have to give homage to the church. And that's all part of the game. So when you look at the term vassal again, a holder of land, these people are all holders of land. They have a land. The Israelites don't have land. Oh, you're African. Well, what part of Africa are we from? Well, we don't know. Where's our history there? I don't know. Where are the people that are, welcome us back? No, they're not, because those aren't our lands. Those Hamites got lands too. Who's to say that those lands that they're occupying are really their lands as well? They're all part of this as well. Arabs, these Arabs, like I've just seen them, they got their money. They got all this money. They got oil money. They got this, they got that. That was their blessing. And all of a sudden now Moors are Arabs, when we know that Moors were so-called black people. The Moors were Negroes. I'm going to show you that definition right now here as well. So again, a person or country in a subordinate position to another. So when you look at a lot of these people, they were given lands in order for them, in a higher position. That's why they can accumulate wealth, accumulate land, not on par with the white man, right? Not on par with the colonizers, but they can still accumulate land and accumulate wealth and pass that down from generation to generation, because they still have a land that they can call their own. that's still going to work for them more than it's going to work for us. So this is from the movie The Equalizer. I love this movie, you know. But this is like Teddy right here, where he's beating the Irish dude. And this is what all the other nations are like, hey, you make a covenant with us, you're going to constantly beat down these black people. You're going to constantly beat down these Negroes. So long as you beat these people down, no matter what, you know, they're always going to be at the bottom. And no matter what, you set up laws to keep these people beat down, you'll be able to be our vassal. And we're all going to work on this together. And that's what they've been doing, except for now, they're all being exposed. They were always like, look at Esau, 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 the white man, the white man, the white man. I'm your brother. But behind our backs, they're vassals to Esau. And now it's easy to see. If you're following all the things that the vassals, you know, that Esau tells you to do, 66 books only, 80 books only, right? Don't read any other books. Don't study anything else. I said, you can tell you're a vassal. You're still going to church all the time, even though we've destroyed the doctrines of your church and you don't care. And you're like, oh, you know, I want that camaraderie. I don't care what the church has done to your people. Vassals, right? That's pretty much the slap in the face that we always get. Yeah, I know the church has had like a really bad history, but I'm going to go to that church anyways. I don't really care what they did to you. You might as well just say that, you know, we don't care about you. You're nobody to us. We're still going to do what the church says, which is exactly what they do. So then they'll put pictures up like this. Oh, look at the resemblance, strong resemblance. Those are the Olmecs. Well, the Olmecs, you know, are so-called Negroes, right? And they're at the end are supposed to be bringing knowledge and understanding and light to the world. Do you see people like this bringing light to the world? You see people like this trying to bring truth to the world? Just because you share a couple of features doesn't mean that you're the people. Remember, there's a bunch of tares in here. They're going to have physical features. They're going to even look like us and have physical features like us, but they are not for our turn. They're for the turn of the Catholic Church. That's how you explain this now. You know, just like the other person tried to be the Bonapax and people have physical features, but of course they don't look at the skin color. They just exit that, you know, they just pretty much just miss all of that. But see, we're supposed to be African American, but when you go into these, this is that dictionary that I have from like 1790s, right? Negro, right? Oh, African American. African. Well, Africa's not even in here. Mexico is not even in this dictionary, right? Because they weren't even countries at this time, or they weren't even acknowledged. But look how they said Negroes, what the definition is for Negro. A black Moor. Even though they spelled it different, it doesn't matter. A black Moor. So the Moors were Negroes, but all of a sudden they switched it up to Moors are Arabs, because that's what they do. And then you'll think that they were the ones that did all these great things in Spain before the Spaniards came. Or that they were going after Arabs, which we know because you didn't go after them, because those people are still vassals to you. They still do everything for you. They still do everything with you. They were the ones that set up everything so you could, you know, push this dollar for these last 100 years or so, 50 years or so, this last Jubilees. They're not your enemy. That's why I thought Israel was supposed to go to war. I thought the last 2 weeks, Israel was about to get it in, about to jump on Iran. World War III is about to start. And what happened? Oh, nothing happened again. Oh, Israel's about to do this. You guys are full of it because you guys are all Confederate against our people. And that stuff is not going to work with us anymore. So just like earlier, it just shows you right here that they were here, you know, to give liberty to the natives. And they were here to destroy the slaves. The slaves were the Negroes, the Moors, black people, the Most High's chosen people. But that was only going to happen for a time. And a time is done. And see, if you go to the Old Testament pseudepigrapha books, there's a Psalms of Solomon. And see, a lot of these books is what they've hidden because it hides the fact that we have been fulfilling prophecy. In the Psalms of Solomon, it says, Israel was taken into exile to a foreign country. The Lord expelled them from the inheritance. And that's exactly what he did. He moved us around from the inheritance, moved us from there, here, there, everywhere, kept us in slavery, gave you our inheritance for a time. But now that time of you being able to control this is over with. So still trying to make it seem as if somehow all these people are our people, when many of them are, if they're not tares, they don't have the spirit, or they also went ahead and made a covenant with you. There are plenty of Israelites, talks about the Maccabees, that left, you know, their heritage and pretty much embraced yours. So don't be so quick to just because someone looks like you, just oh, you're an Israelite for sure. That's not the case whatsoever. This is why that you have to check that spirit of Yahushai is a spirit of prophecy. Are they talking about prophecy? Are they talking about the things that we're bringing out? Are they talking about the fact that we've already gone through Jacob's trouble? Or are they still pushing Jacob's trouble in the future? Because that is still a doctrine of the church. You can quickly understand where people are coming from. Most people don't even have any breakdown about prophecy because they don't know anything, because they don't study. But the few that do still follow the ways of the church. Because why? They're nothing but vassals. Much love, family. Shalom.